Hey everybody, welcome back. In this part on hedging, we would like to talk about how to structure or think about structuring a hedge for your portfolio. One of the inexpensive ways to do this, although there is risk of loss of your premium, is buying a put spread. What is a put spread? Well, a put, for those of you who are not familiar, is a contract, an options contract that gives you the right to sell a stock or an index at a predetermined price and a predetermined time. So for instance, if you wanted to buy puts on Apple for $200, that would give you the right to sell Apple at $200. You would, if Apple were below $200, you would use that put option, you would execute it, and it would give you the ability to sell Apple stock for that price, and you would collect the difference between that $200 and the price at which Apple was trading. So let's say you buy the Apple puts, $200 puts, the stock goes to $180, you make $20 on that put. Simplistically, right? That's the revenue that you would take in. You'd be selling the stock at 200. You'd be able to go to someone in the market and buy it back at 180. There would be a 20-point spread. Obviously, that put has a cost. It might be $5. It depends on multiple variables that stay tuned. We'll talk about all the variables that go into determining the options price, but that $5 price of the options contract would be a price that you'd have to pay. So your revenue would be $20 on that 200 minus 180. The $5 would be the price you pay for the right to sell that stock at 200. And therefore your net profit would be $15. Again, all of this is hypothetical, and all of this you should consult your advisor before you do it. Imagine if you also, in addition to buying that $5 put on Apple, 200, you also bought you also had the ability to sell a put at $180, right? Say that $180 put is $1. You would buy the put at 5, which would give you the right to sell at 200. You would sell a put, which would give somebody else the right to sell it to you at 180 for $1. Your cost would go down 5 minus 1 to $4. So in the case of Apple going from 200 to 180, again, hypothetically, you would make an extra $1 of profit because you would have sold that dollar put to someone else. They'd be putting that stock to you at 180. You'd have sold stock higher at 200. You'd collect the difference, $20 minus the $4, not minus the 5. So your profit would be $16 instead of $15. That's the basic mechanics of a put spread. The illustration of put spreads going forward by yours truly, by me, will be something that'll be a lot more advanced. So I want you to stick with it. But basically, when you're buying puts, you're buying the right to sell a stock or an index at a certain price, predetermined price, over a predetermined time. It could be 30 days, it could be 60 days, it could be 90 days. There's even now single day options, same day options that you could do one day out. And the put spread is simultaneously buying a put and selling a lower put across that same period of time. There are more advanced put spreads that you could put together, but let's stick with that one. Later in another video, we'll talk about put spreads and their analog call spreads. But stay tuned for that. This is just a basic hedging analysis for you, and part 3 will go into more depth. So stick with us. Thanks.